Welcome to the Low Stakes Podcast. With ticks are hot, the negus smoke low and slow, and the stories are always medium rare. Hosted by Jeff Avgaris, fisherman and backyard barbecue master. Alongside co-host Dave Lodwig, a Star Wars-loving, baseball-obsessed pitmaster. And produced by the outdoorsman himself, Nate Cross. Quite possibly the greatest name in podcast. This is the Low Stakes Podcast.
Guys, how's it going? It is June the 26th today. We're recording on a Friday. What's been going on? We've been busy. A lot going on.
Jeff, I'm going to answer you by ignoring your question.
Good.
And giving you one of my own.
It's the first that's ever happened.
No, that is never ever happened.
What are you talking about? Come on.
No respect.
I'm a respectful guy. I'll show you respect. It's been haunting me for weeks now.
Yeah.
Our intro music.
Mm-hmm.
For all of our listeners out there, you know, we have that introduction music that was produced by 100% pure American artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought you were going to say pure American steel and sex appeal, because that was me who produced all that.
The music that plays behind it, I'm like, I know this music. I know it. Is it just a generic version of There's Only One Way to Rock by Sammy Hagar?
I never really thought about that.
It's whatever ChatGPT felt like for the day.
No, I pulled it off of a music service, but it's just named something random by somebody that put it together.
All right, let me play the intro to There's Only One Way to Rock.
So much for our...
We're going to get copyright.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
close.
Spot on.
Pretty close.
Well, that was just my observation.
Oh, thank you, Dave,
nice.
for the copyright strike. And we'll be...
And giving me absolutely no way to transition.
Sorry, no, I'm doing great, man. Thanks, thanks for asking.
Good.
Everything's good. So, yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see that we have a fourth person here. We have Enzo. We'll be interviewing him here in a second. Before we jump into talking to Enzo, I want to talk about fishing, okay? Because I went out fishing Saturday with my son, and my son just killed it. Like, he did great. He, like, multiple big fish. I caught fish, and I did well as well, but he, like, killed it. I'm a way better fisherman than him, like way better. Like, we're not even in the same class.
As it should be.
Yeah, as it should be. Yeah. And the kid's up there, he's like leaned back in his chair, and he's acting like he's dragging his line. It's like, oh, there's an 18-inch fish. And so I messaged one of my buddies, and I'm like, this kid's the luckiest freaking kid ever fishing. He's like, it's kids in general.
You wanted to curse there.
I definitely did. Yep. I try to keep it to a minimum, but he said his kids was the same way. He said he told me about this time he went into a boat with his two kids. One was on the back, one was on the front. He was fishing off the side. They were both catching fish. They all had the same bait on. He caught nothing. He's like, it's just a kid thing. And I was like, you know, at first I was like, this is fun. You know, he's having a good time. This is great. Then about halfway through the day, I'm like, this isn't fun anymore. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. It was good. I'm glad that my son is a good fisherman though. I'm joking on some level. I am a better fisherman than him, but he's for 12 years old. Like, we went with a guide because I do that a couple times a year just to kind of learn new techniques, learn new water. And the guide was like, this kid's like the best 12-year-old fisherman I've ever had in my boat. He's like really, really good. So I don't know where I'm going with that, except for the fact that fishing is huge here. Like, if you don't fish or hike or ski or do outdoor stuff, you shouldn't be in Montana. You know, it's just not, it's tough. You know, it's tough if you're not outdoorsy on some level.
Where were you guys fishing at?
Clark Fork.
Which?
Down by St. Regis.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to the bigger water.
Clark Fork, yeah.
I've never fished down there before. And it's big water, but it's bigger fish, you know.
For your son.
Typically do an annual day float fishing that stretch. And yeah, I've gotten some big fish there in the past. Yeah. Is mayfly season over?
Mayfly's kind of on and off throughout the season. Right now it's golden stones that are really going. That's good. So we did golden stones and we did the sculpins which are like crawdads. Mm-hmm. And we caught all of our big fish off the sculpin. We went real deep, probably.
You mean your son caught all the big fish?
So when you guys got home, did you challenge him to a game of one-on-one in basketball so you can reassert your dominance over him?
We just put the boxing gloves on, and I just
Let's
beat
go,
him.
boy.
Just grabbed.
What'd I do, Dad? Come on.
But we were like 9 foot deep going through. It was good. And and what's funny is we have pictures of him with fish. It's great. It's awesome. And then I caught multiple fish, but I caught one good fish, and it was like really pretty. It had like red on the side. It was about, 16, 18 inches.
Did it grant you wishes?
It could.
It was 15 inches when he first caught it.
Exactly.
My wife told me it was 22 inches. But anyways, so I wanted to take a picture with this thing just to prove it. And the guy said, hey, I'm going to give it a drink of water. Because a drink of water lifts it up, and there was a hole in his net. And that darn thing swam through the hole in his net. I didn't even get to take a picture.
Wait. So there's no photo evidence of this?
Well, there's a photo of it in the net. He took a picture of it in the net. And he's like, I want to take a picture of this. So he took a picture of it. And then he lost it before I held it up. So
last time I fished that stretch in a drift boat, we're going down probably a good hour and a half into the float. And I look to the side, and you know how there's kind of a steep embankment to the right-hand side?
Mm-hmm.
There was a random cow just standing on the riverbed.
For no good reason.
No good, standing there. And I was like, it's one of those freshwater cows.
That's creepy.
I know. I was like, I couldn't figure out, how did this cow get here? Because it must have wandered from somewhere. So the whole day, just the thought of that cow haunted me for the rest of because I could not solve the riddle in my head.
Still with you because it came to your head.
It is. Yeah, I can see it in his eyes.
Yeah, that's weird.
The cow.
Yeah. So go out fishing. Fishing's good. If you're in Montana, which I think all of our listeners at this point are probably in Montana, Idaho, or Wyoming, now's the time. Go fishing. We could get low water in early August. So June, July, good time. September, October, awesome times. But fishing's really good right now, especially in the Missoula area. So, Dave, give us our first sponsor.
People are moving to Big Sky Country in record numbers, meaning Montanans are witnessing an unprecedented competitive housing market. Luckily, you don't have to find your dream home all by yourself. Rose Chadwell Real Estate is here to help you find your dream home in the Treasure State. Reach out to Rose at bigskybrokers.com and start the journey to your dream home.
Thank you, Rose. That's awesome. So we're gonna have our first interview today with Enzo. Dave's gonna interview Enzo because he knows Enzo pretty well. So, Dave, you want to introduce Enzo?
Yes, Enzo Apodaca, starting right fielder for the Missoula Paddleheads here in the Pioneer League. He lives at our home. Mm-hmm. So for the last 5 years, we have been a host family, which is fairly common across minor league baseball. And so we've been blessed to have some great players live with us. And so this is Enzo's first year playing in the Pioneer League, and really your first full year of professional baseball. Graduated from Baylor, played at Gonzaga before that. So I've said a lot. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me, guys. Mm-hmm. This is awesome. Yeah. I'm super excited. But yeah, it's been a good time here in Missoula so far. It's absolutely a blessing to live with Dave. All he does is be sarcastic at home, and I've heard
everywhere he goes,
consistent.
Yeah, everywhere he goes. At home, he's talking about this podcast too, and so it actually got me interested. Like first day, he was telling me about it, and I started listening to some episodes on the road. Yeah.
We're sorry.
No worries. No worries at all. They've been great. The long bus rides, you got a lot of time to kill, so might as well just pop it on, and it's good to be here. So yeah, that's all.
Before the show here, we were talking a little bit, and I'm going to read Enzo's slash line because if you're a baseball nut, this is going to impress you. So 173 plate appearances this year, 33 games. He's batting. His slash line is 338, 462, 515. He's got a 977 OPS, 5 bombs. One game he had 2 home runs, it looked like, earlier in the season, 9 doubles. I mean, if you know baseball, that's ridiculous. Like if you're up around 1,000 OPS, I mean, in Major League Baseball, that's like a top 10 batter. So Enzo's just brutally, and not very nicely, just killing baseballs. I mean, the Paddleheads just got to have the most unhappy baseballs right now. So how's that, man? I mean, what are you doing to prepare? I looked through all the games. I would say you've only had 2 or 3 poor games. You're getting hit every game. You just had, last night, the night before, whatever it was, you had like 3 hits on 4 plate appearances. You're just killing it. So what are you doing to get there?
Yeah, really just with this season, you're playing every day. You got to show up to the field, 5 hours before the game time. It's really hard to stay locked in consistently every day. I would say the hardest part of this is not really playing, not really the physical element that goes into it. It's just showing up, just being positive. And this year, I really am priding myself and honestly just trying to have fun. Yeah. I've played this game my whole entire life. I have put a ton of pressure, stress, in my performance. I got caught up with, baseball being my identity on the field. And this year, I just wanted to have fun. Just wanted to enjoy it. I graduated a year ago, and it was my first time not playing for a consistent period of time. I'm usually playing 9 months out of the season with, fall practice and then spring season coming around. And then once I graduated, it was my first time, not playing that long. And I realized, dang, I really do love this sport a lot. Like I really miss the small moments, the small time. There were times where I would found myself sitting at home and honestly wished, that I can go up to the plate. And if I were to strike out, I'd be thankful for it because I just had that opportunity. So just taking, having that gratitude, trying to stay positive every day. It's hard. And just trying to have fun. I think that's really, the biggest contributing factor to just my success this year. Just trying to have fun, not sweating the small stuff, not trying to get too low on the failures. And baseball is a game of failure. It's super hard. 3 out of 10 times you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. That's so right.
You said you've been playing baseball your whole life. Kind of talk to us about what your baseball journey's been like up until this point. You grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
You started in Little League?
Started in Little League. I was starting T-ball. Started playing when I was around 3 or 4. Don't remember. But pretty much been playing my whole entire life. I knew when I was a kid I wanted to be a baseball player. Just something that I enjoyed really much. I played 2 sports at the time. I was soccer and baseball. We know how Dave feels about soccer.
Soccer was invented by the Nazis.
The
Nazis. They did it to rob American men of their manual dexterity.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess so.
We got to put that on a shirt and sell it.
Exactly. I think Eisenhower said that. It was Eisenhower.
Sounds, or Churchill, maybe.
Yeah, could be. Anyway, so.
No worries. I've been playing baseball, stuck with baseball since I was 12. Played all the way, wanted to play at the next level in high school. My career's definitely been an interesting one. Lots of ups and downs, lots of just a testament to honestly just sticking at it, being consistent, working hard. Out of high school, I got recruited to go play baseball at Gonzaga, and I graduated high school in 2020, and COVID was around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was super crazy. I committed to Gonzaga late. I committed late my senior year. Wasn't getting looked at very much in high school. Was putting up the numbers. Guys around me, my teammates for club ball, were always getting committed, and I was sitting back wondering, what am I doing wrong?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing everything I can. I'm producing on the field. Like, why hasn't it showed up for me? And, it was totally a God thing. And at literally 2 days before COVID shut down is when Gonzaga reached out. And, I knew this is me being an Arizona boy. I wanted a change from the heat and wanted to experience what the cold was like. And I was willing to put myself in that new waters. And
Literal.
Yeah, literal new waters. And I committed there my senior year, literally 2 days before the COVID shut down.
Wow.
And our baseball season got canceled. Everything else around us, graduation, prom, everything got canceled. So it was totally a God moment right there. And then going into Gonzaga, redshirted my first year. That's when the NCAA granted everyone an extra year of eligibility back. So the incoming class pretty much all redshirted, except for one other teammate of mine. And then played 2 years at Gonzaga, had good success there, but I realized the cold wasn't my thing.
You came to Missoula?
Okay, yeah,
It's a summer league.
That's right. I always told people, I always told people that I was always in Spokane at the wrong time.
Yes.
You didn't see the sun until maybe the last week of May, and by then we were gone.
Yeah.
Because it's beautiful up there. It really is.
It is cool. It is a cool place.
But yeah, with Spokane being cold, snowy, windy, and overcast all the time, coming from bright sun in Scottsdale, it was kind of a hard transition for me. There are a little other factors, that led in there. I wanted to go to a more competitive conference, and which led me to Baylor, and I finished up my last 2 years at Baylor.
Yeah, that's awesome. Growing up in Scottsdale, I mean, the Phoenix area is a baseball city. I mean, there's a developmental training program on every corner. I mean, you either go to Florida or you go to Arizona if you want to be in baseball. So that's awesome. I spent 2.5 years there myself in my late 20s, and that's a great place to live in your late 20s. I'm just saying, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's a great place.
Very popular. Yes.
Writing that down for future reference. But talk about. I have a random question.
Sure.
As people that love baseball but maybe haven't played baseball, you get to first base. What do you talk about with the first baseman?
Ooh, okay. So you have to feel them out first. Okay. You have to feel them out. I usually say, "Hey, how's it going, brother? Like, how you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
Usually, depending on their response, is how you dictate if the conversation is going to move forward.
Okay.
If they're very, opening and, heartwarming, welcoming, you usually talk about, "Hey, where were you guys just on the road? Or where are you going next to? Where are you from?" Just getting to know the guy.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of, like monotone and short with you. I'm kind of like, okay, I get it.
It's all business.
Yeah, I'll be quiet. I'll back it up.
Does the current score of the game change your interactions on base?
No, surprisingly not.
No.
It may change based off of, honestly performative results based off of, if the first baseman's playing good. But usually I've ran into majority of guys being very nice, very cool, because we're all the same at the end of the day. We all understand what we're going through. Like yesterday, I was talking to the first baseman, my first at bat. Asked him, "How's it going?" He's like, "It's going good, man." And he's like, "You doing all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing good. It was this past week was a little tough stretch for me." I was like, "Yeah, it's been a tough stretch this past week." He's like, "Dude, I totally get it. Just keep going. Like,
That's cool.
This sport's so hard. Like, just stick with it. Like, you kicked our butt last week. We know what you can do. You're totally
Was
fine."
that the second or third time you were on base yesterday?
It was the first time. But
First time. Okay.
First time.
Probably the third time he was like, "All right, dude, I'm done talking to you." That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You ever robbed a home run?
No, too short.
Too short.
You're what, 6'4", 220?
I wish, yeah.
Too short.
Too short for that. I've come close a few times, or at least so I thought. When I get back to the dugout, my teammates are like, "Yeah, you're probably another 2 feet away from that."
See that? Yeah, we saw it.
Like, it was right over the top of the glove.
It was so close.
We know
You weren't.
We know you're not robbing one in right field here at the Paddleheads.
No way. No way, yeah.
Superman couldn't rob one here.
Oh,
so.
yeah. That monster.
Yeah, what do you think? So, for our listeners out there that have never been to Ogren, is it Ogren Park or Ogren Field?
I don't know.
And we just call it Ogren.
Yeah.
Some odd dimensions there because of train tracks in the outfield. So, right center is 408, I believe.
40. It was 409, I think.
Okay, yeah, right there. Dead center is actually 398.
398 with the elevated batters.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
But then the right field foul pole is it 287?
289.
Or 289, yeah.
289.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it's crazy dimensions. If you ever walk in the outfield out there, but that outfield, right field fence is in because there's train tracks behind it. Mm-hmm. And so it goes up. Is it 30 feet?
I'm not too sure. I think it may be around there. 30
Yeah.
It looks big from sitting in the stands, and you're 289 feet away.
Yeah, which is shorter than some little league ballparks. What's it like playing that spot in right field up against that wall, knowing the odd dimensions out there and having to try to play balls off of that wall?
And also to piggyback that, and at the same time dreaming of playing for the Boston Red Sox. Go.
Oh no, about to ruin your dream shortly. But yeah, going back to the dimensions, it's pretty unique, I would say. For the Paddleheads games, I'm literally told to play right center, like play right at the 409. I don't even play straight up right field in line with second or third base. You know how you're supposed to, because anything pretty much hit to right field is going to be a double off the wall.
Yeah, and
the way that wall is shaped. It starts at 289, but then it goes straight out in kind of like a diagonal shape to where every ball that kicks off it is just going to come back to you. And we'd rather take that than giving up a triple in the 409 gap.
Totally. So
we're taught to play there. And it's interesting. It can be a little difficult sometimes too, because you do have some bloop hits a lot that, if I were playing straight up, that I would have a chance to grab. But then again, you do make it up by saving, doubles and triples by playing in that gap. Yeah. We have frustrated a lot of opposing teams because of the way we play in the outfield, because it's a double and a triple anywhere other park that we play at. But since our park is so unique, we have to play it a little different. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been interesting. We've never played on the field like it before. But yeah,
that's cool. So who is your MLB team, all joking aside?
Go ahead.
You're about to kick me off this podcast right now.
I'm not.
It's going to be the Yankees.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Why would you ask the question?
They don't even play spring training in Scottsdale or anywhere in Phoenix.
I know.
They're America's team.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Yankee fan. I was raised that way. My dad was a Yankees fan.
Oh, is he cool? Who was the player that you rooted for growing up?
So that's the thing. The player, I would say I'm not a diehard Yankees fan, though.
Okay.
I'm not the Yankees fan where I can name Joe Schmo back in 50 years ago.
Sure.
He batted .321 that season.
How many homers?
Best year?
But I'm just an overall big fan of certain players and just watching the league as a whole. I realized, as I was growing up, that I just like to follow certain players.
Yeah.
And growing up, I really liked Derek Jeter, obviously, playing for the Yankees. Nowadays, the generational gap, I really got to love Ohtani when he first came over in 2018. And, watching him do what he does, I have a knack for lefty swings because I'm a lefty too. So I always like watching fellow lefties, swing and how they go about the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like to follow players. If the Yankees are on, I'll be rooting for them.
It's kind of a generational thing because, 40 years ago, you rooted for your hometown team. And, in those hometowns, they still root for them. But sports in general have become international. So as generations have gone by, there's more of that. You talk about in my generation, or actually maybe even a little after me, but kids grew up Ken Griffey Jr. Everybody was trying to swing like Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
That was and he's still got the prettiest swing ever, and not just left-handed, just swing ever. He's just a stud. And as a Red Sox fan, the generation after me, Manny Ramirez, there's kids that emulate Manny Ramirez now because he's just got that swing. But I think kids now, or young people, I should say, that have grown into being young adults, is a lot of that. Is they follow players, and which is cool. And it's kind of that part of where it used to be. There's no Derek Jeters anymore. Very few, or Aaron Judges, that they play with the same team for their entire career.
Right.
So you fall in love with a player, and then they move
teams,
5-6 years. So
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, going back to the Yankees comment, I think that's why, particularly out west, you find a lot of Yankees fans, because for the first 40 years of Major League Baseball's development, it basically ended at the Mississippi River.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the furthest west you would go was like Chicago.
Yeah.
Back in the 20s and the 30s, even the 40s, until the Dodgers moved out west. Any West Coast baseball fans, you were rooting for some East Coast team.
Yeah.
And it was the players, right? So in the 1920s, if you liked baseball and you live in Arizona, you get the paper or read or listen to the radio, and it's like, oh, I follow Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Or I follow Joe DiMaggio. I follow Mickey Mantle. And so you wind up becoming a fan of their team because you don't have a local team. I think
But all those guys you just mentioned spent their entire career with the Yankees, except for Babe Ruth. But yeah, so I mean, it was like, it was easy to root for a guy. Now, I mean, my son played baseball clear up till this year. He's a big Rafael Devers fan because we're a Boston Red Sox fan. And he was heartbroken last year when they traded Devers. And, you can debate whether they should have or not. But it was the point. It was like, all right, he signed a long-term contract with the Red Sox. His second contract is going to go till his late 30s. He's going to be a Red Sox. This is awesome. And then, my son's like, oh, okay, well, this number 11 jersey is going to be some, journeyman utility infielder that's going to be using it here coming up. This, sucks. So that's part of it. It's just like you just can't marry yourself unless it's Aaron Judge. That's one of the few. Even Shohei. I mean, Shohei went from Japan to the Angels to the Dodgers. I mean, it's a different game.
It is.
Different time.
So going back, so you grow up in Scottsdale. You're playing Little League, and I assume you hit travel ball at some point, and then high school. Where was the point where it clicked with you and you realized that, number one, you were legitimately good, and number two, that there was a legitimate opportunity for baseball to not just be a hobby or an activity, but an actual lifelong pursuit towards employment?
Yeah, totally. I'll kind of break it down in a couple sections here. I knew I was, really good probably when I was a kid around like 11 years old, 10 years old. I didn't understand why. I knew, it was all pretty much for my dad, like because of my dad. My dad would go to the park, throw me wiffle balls, he'd get home from work, we'd go out, play catch in the backyard. And that really set myself apart young. Especially I was just blessed, to have that time with my dad, to be able to like kind of separate from, my other teammates back in the day. As far as, like a career wise, I really think, freshman year of high school is when I knew that I can play collegiate baseball, not necessarily Division I, but just at the next level. As a career, I always wanted to be a baseball player when I was a kid. I was just fascinated just by the sport, wanting to play in, a big stadium with a bunch of fans, and win a World Series, dog pile, it's just everything that a kid dreamed of, And so yeah, it's always been in my life. It's always been in my mind, I would say. But yeah, I would say so.
That's awesome. Give us your favorite memory on the field.
Ooh, my favorite memory on the field goes back to the Little League.
Okay.
It was my birthday, and me and one of my best friends at the time were playing against each other, and he was pitching and I was hitting. And he throws me a curveball, and I'm in Little League.
At 11?
This was like
wow.
11.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen a curveball before in my life.
Was it a big hanging 12-6?
I don't even know what it was. All I knew is I swung. Next thing you know it, I'm like on the ground. And my best friend is up there like laughing at me. And I'm like laughing at him. Like, what was that? And then next pitch, he threw me. I absolutely crushed it over the fence. And I'm just laughing around the bases. It was my birthday too, so it was special.
That's fun.
And pretty sure like I had a birthday party too the next day with him invited. That was one of my like all-time like favorite moments too, because it was just that friendly competition, me going out with my best friend. He made me look like an idiot, the pitch before. Now I got him back. The next pitch.
So I'm curious. So you get recruited by Gonzaga.
Mm-hmm.
What was that process like? How'd you get discovered by Gonzaga? And maybe also speak about, if we have young baseball players listening, or dads who are living vicariously through the young baseball players, trying to get them to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give to young players? So how were you discovered, and advice for young players?
Yeah, so I was actually discovered. I went to a showcase my senior year, and at the showcase, they tape film, tape your swings, record everything. And I had hit a triple, and they just happened to be recording that at bat, and they posted it on their social media. And Gonzaga actually saw that clip online and reached out to me, and that process kind of just went forward. They went out and messaged me. I messaged them back, and that process kind of just took forward. And I was, at the time, I had no college offers. I was actually going to go play junior college baseball in Arizona, probably. And it was the only school I reached out, and I knew, that's what it was for me. And I would say the one thing that I would advise kids, and I know it's so hard nowadays, and it was just starting to become a thing when I was in high school, is just eliminate and close off all Twitter, social media, Instagram noise. Close out all the state rankings, area code this, draft prospect that. Because at the end of the day, it does not matter.
No.
I've seen so many kids that were ranked nationally, state ranked, leading, whatever, and they end up never panning out. And it's just, you realize it's hard to, not get caught up in it, because, at the very moment, that's your life. And you're trying to, you're comparing yourself to other kids too. And it's really difficult to really tune that out, because that's all you're surrounded with. That's all people are talking about. Oh, this kid's ranked number 1 in Montana. This kid's ranked 5th in Florida. At the next level, I've seen kids get cut. I've seen kids quit. I've seen kids just not pan out the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And I would say that's the number one thing, because the scouts don't know.
Yeah.
Scouts don't know. The platforms don't know. State rankings, area codes, they don't mean anything at the end of the day.
It's hard to rank heart, right? It's hard to rank the drive, the want, I mean, you can come up, baseball could be easy for you through Little League and even through high school, and you don't have to find it in yourself to power through something. You're batting, 450 through high school, and you're like, oh, this game's easy. And then you get a shot, you go to minor league baseball, and, you're in short season minor league ball, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, these guys can throw some serious break on pitches, and it's a different world, right?
Oh, for sure. Going into the college level, everyone on that team was their best high school player at wherever they came from. That's a lot of, it's a tough adjustment to some kids, because they realize that they're not the top dog.
Yeah, you go from 1 or 2 good players on each team to now those 1 or 2 make up an entire team in college, and it totally changes the metrics.
Totally changes the metrics, changes the mindset. You can either sink or swim in that situation. A lot of kids take it as a chance to get better and really work hard. A lot of kids, try to just rely on their talent and not work hard, and just try to rely on what got them to that level, which it doesn't pan out for them most of the time.
I would imagine social media has completely changed the scouting world. Like, do scouts even go to games anymore?
They do. I would say they stick within a local proximity, though.
Sure.
They stick within a local proximity. Technology is great. Videos are great. But at the end of the day, you need to see the player play in person, in my opinion.
Totally.
You can cut up, a 210 hitter, put together highlight tapes of his hits, and he seems like he's the best player.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is an MLB thing too right now. So, in Major League Baseball, they have minor league scouts and major league scouts, and that's for minor leagues, obviously, for trades, and major leagues is for in-season trades and such. And some organizations, Cubs were kind of the first one. The Red Sox, unfortunately, are doing it, and there's a few that they've cut almost all their scouts, and they're almost doing everything, off of stats and off of video. And then you have teams like the Dodgers who are like, you're going to can all your scouts? Sure, we'll hire all of them. And they got scouts everywhere, So it's a big debate in baseball right now. And
I find it's almost mind-boggling that you went from maybe a JUCO player to a Division I baseball player based on one at bat.
Yeah, it's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
So I think out of the big four team sports in America, football, baseball, basketball, hockey, out of them, I think it's safe to say that the most superstitious players are baseball players.
Yes,
absolutely.
So maybe you're not superstitious, but I'm guessing you're stitious. What are your superstitions? Pre-game?
Let's see. I don't really have any. I'm kind of boring, but every now and then I like to partake in some superstitious activities with some of my teammates, even though I know in the back of my head I'm like, this isn't gonna work. but it's just trying to find like the joy and the fun in, playing every day. For example, me and the center fielder, his name is Michael Kazuski. We try to, we've occasionally tried to mix it up. He's like, hey, should we wear a hat for BP today? Do you think that has some hits in it? Or do you think we should eat at this ramen place before we eat the game? Does that have hits in it? Do we wear, XYZ? It's just trying to make it fun. But baseball players are definitely the most superstitious athletes there are. And you kind of have to be, with a long season like that, especially in the MLB too. If you're struggling a lot too, you almost want to just find like I said, it goes back to just having fun. Find a little excuse to why you're having some fun and success.
It's a good segue a little bit. So having fun. So baseball's changed quite a bit. It used to be, everything's everybody's a robot out there. And over the last 15 years, pitchers show more emotion, batters show more emotion. How's your feeling? How do you feel about how the game has changed in that way that, maybe if you hit a big home run, you pimp it a little bit. If the pitcher gets a big strikeout, maybe he yells coming off the mound. Does that bother you? Do you think that's good for baseball? What do you think?
I think it's good to a certain extent. I think a lot of it depends on, I would say there's a happy medium. I think, there's times where you should show emotion and you should pimp a home run and you should, get fired up for a strikeout. And I think there are times where you just need to just run, just jog, put your head down, start running, or just pat your glove and walk back to the dugout.
Yeah.
So because, you can say I'm an old head in this case, but, for me, if I'm down by 8 runs and I hit like a 2-run homer, I'm not going to stand there and pimp it and throw my bat.
No.
I'm going to put my head down and jog the bases.
Yeah.
Especially, it goes back to pitching too. If I gave up, 5 runs, and I strike out the last guy, I'm not going to scream and yell and get off the mound, which I've seen in certain scenarios. And I've seen both ends of the game. And I'm like, I don't think that's really necessary.
Only time I feel it, and this would be me, and I'm obviously not athletic in the way that you are, but if there's like a pitcher, like I'll take it from the batter's perspective. If there's like a pitcher that's a jerk out there, maybe he's plunked one of your buddies, and maybe he's kind of stared at one of you guys, he striked out, he's just kind of being a jerk out there, and then you go out there and just you hit a 2-run bomb off of him. Maybe you pimp it a little bit. It's kind of like, if you're gonna be like that, I'm gonna be like that. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So my son, his high school team won the state championship this year, and in the championship game, which was over in Butte, they were playing a team from Bozeman for the championship, and one of Bozeman's hitters hits this fly ball, and he pimps it. He flips the bat, and he pimps it, and he starts jogging, and it wound up just being a routine fly out to our right fielder. And me and every other dad over there was just like laughing so hard at him, because then he had to, like, I don't know why he thought it was some massive hit. It was just a routine fly ball. And
I'm embarrassed just hearing that.
Oh, that's cringe.
Then he has to turn around and jog back to the dugout while he hears all of these dads laughing at him. It was awesome. It was awesome to do that. So, one of the things I've noticed, because as a host family for our minor league team, we get season tickets. So we go to games, we try to go as much as we can. Walk-up music is a big thing for each player. And one of the things I've took note of this year is you have a very different type of walk-up song compared to most minor league baseball players. You actually play worship music when you walk up to the plate. Talk about that, maybe talk about your faith.
Yeah. So typically, I'm a big house and EDM fan, actually. Majority of my walk-up songs have usually been...
Were you born in Germany?
Yeah, no. Majority of my walk-up songs has always been, just like an upbeat kind of house EDM music, trying to get you fired up. And this is the first year where I decided to do a worship song. My faith is super important to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's structured my life a lot and structured the way how I play the game. And I want to represent my faith based off of also how I play the game. And I was really moved to put a worship song as my walk-up song, just to change it up a little bit. And it's called Made for More. And the lyrics are basically saying that I was made for more. And I resonate with that because I resonate with the fact that I'm more than just a baseball player. I was made for more. This sport isn't my identity. I'm someone else beyond the field. And that's something that I always struggled with in the past. It goes back to, me always getting tied up based on the results, because that's where I would, find my identity. And I thought that's who I was only.
Mm-hmm.
And having that song was also it helps me remember to stay level with myself, and also to kind of just refocus on, if I'm having a bad day, if I'm getting caught up in, the results in the game, to just recenter and focus on the Lord, and just completely wipe the slate clean, realize, hey, you're more than just a baseball player. You're more than an athlete. You're more than, the stats up on the scoreboard.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when the stats are really good,
Right.
Yeah.
It helps. It
Never
helps.
hurts.
Give a shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving me the ability to slash 989 in OPS.
How was that received? The song change.
Yeah, I think it's received pretty good. I don't know. For the people that do go to church, they would obviously resonate and realize that it is a worship song. For the people that don't, I don't believe that they really know. I'm not too sure. Let's take the pastor's opinion on this.
So all the people I know who come from the Christian faith that have been there have mentioned it to me. It's so cool, because it's the live version, right, of the song, and it hits the refrain where there's a big drum beat, and then it's basically a cappella, and they're just singing, I was not made to be tending a grave, I was called by name. And it's really loud. And so I don't know if the general people in the stand know specifically that it's a church song, but my perspective is it's like a 7-second testimony every time you go up to bat. And I'm curious, when you selected it, was there any pushback from the organization?
No.
That's good.
No pushback. We just filled out like a Google Doc or sheet thing, and they just put whatever song that we requested up there. So
I just thought in all my years of regularly going to games here, that's the first time I've ever heard that used. And one of our previous players, he was an old soul, and he used Dire Straits for his walk-up music.
Yeah.
And but yeah, first time I've ever heard worship music played in the stadium, which I just think is the coolest thing. It's like you're guaranteed when you go to a game that you're going to hear church music every game, because you're a starter, you're a keystone in their lineup, and so you haven't even sat a game yet, have you?
no.
Yeah, exactly. So every game you're going to hear, this quick clip out of a worship song, which I always thought was just really cool. So,
and that's a testament to all levels of baseball too. I could make the argument that baseball, minus a few little hiccups here and there, has the widest variety and diversity of thought and acceptance of different types of people of any major sport.
So
probably
diverse.
most multicultural sport.
Totally.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know, because you've got Anglo-Saxons such as myself.
Pasty white.
Pasty white people.
Sour cream.
Sour cream. That is. Yes, that describes me to a T. But then you've got a lot of African American players, and then Latin players, and it's drastically different if you're coming from Puerto Rico and Mexico. Those are different cultures, and so you have this huge melting pot there. So
baseball would be terrible without Latin players, like Puerto Rico, Dominican
So would
Republic.
boxing.
That's true, yeah. But I mean, think about the last 15 years. It's just like now it's, Japanese influence is big, but the Dominican, the Puerto Ricans, Mexico, everywhere along, it's just they're all the best players. They're just really good.
It adds a lot of color and flavor to the games. For sure.
I mean, they live for it. Like, I love watching scouting videos from like the Dominican Republic and these kids that just signed with the Yankees for 1.2 million and they're 14 years old and they're playing in a dirt field and they got like a baseball that's just ragged and they're just out there. They just love playing baseball, and it kind of goes back to what you're saying. They don't look at all the state rankings. They don't have any of that. They just are like, can I make $100 out of playing this game?
Yeah, can I help my family out, like playing this game? Yeah,
it's
totally.
Awesome. I love it.
It's super cool. I think it goes back to, showing more emotions in baseball too, because of that cultural influence.
Totally.
Because that's encouraged over there. The culture over there is different. They're taught to have fun.
Some of those games, you watch those games, like the crowd, it looks like a soccer crowd. Like they're like on their feet screaming and they're like.
The Winter League games, it's crazy.
It's something else.
Fans are getting in the fights, like everything. They're doing chants with the drums, everything. Oh
it's
my God.
Great.
They love it.
They do love it.
So Enzo Apodaca, what's your heritage?
So my mom is Korean. She's from South Korea. She moved here when she was about, I believe, 6 years old. Spent some time in LA, pretty much lived in LA her entire life. And my dad is Mexican, goes back generations. There's definitely some Spanish descent in there too. But my dad and my mom, they met in California. They actually went to the same high school, but they didn't know each other at the time.
Interesting.
Yeah. They both lived together in LA and San Diego for majority of their lives. That's where actually I'm born. I'm born in San Diego and moved to Arizona when I was about like 6 years old.
Cool.
So Arizona's my hometown. I was raised there, but California I still have some ties to. But yeah, it's a unique mix. I get that a lot. A lot of people can never identify and correctly guess what I am, and I don't blame them because I get that I'm Filipino a lot. I get that I'm Hawaiian. Hawaiian checks out the most.
Oh yeah, you do kind of look Hawaiian.
Yeah, Hawaiian or Polynesian. Yeah.
You should claim that.
Yeah,
I should. Yeah.
Is that cultural appropriation though?
I don't even know anymore.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. I get that. I asked if I'm Samoan. I'm like, no, I wish, so I can get a big tribal tattoo or something.
You'd probably be able to get those ones up the wall if you were Samoan.
I have a tribal tattoo across my back.
Oh boy.
Like on your lower back?
Yeah. I lost a bet.
Wait, is this his transition into the men's hygiene products sponsor?
Yeah, we probably should do a sponsorship.
Yeah.
Promo here.
Give us our next sponsor, Dave.
We want to talk more about stadium music here in a second, but let me ask you a question, guys. When you step in the shower, is it easy? We've got to this point where seriously, like every time I go to say something and they don't know what it is, he starts giggling. And Nate just has this look of
fear, just terror.
Oh no, man!
Am I going to have to edit this?
This is going to be awesome.
Nate's the bomb.
Honest question: when you step in the shower, is it a bath bar or body wash?
Bar.
Body wash.
Body wash.
I kind of go back and forth.
Yeah,
I've started to appreciate the bath bar or bath bar. I still like the body wash with the loofah, and you suds it up. But here's the thing. Mystery Meadows is out there, and they offer all that stuff. Yeah. This morning, I saw, and I used it. They have a little bottle of gentle face wash, which when I'm looking for face wash, I'm looking for a gentle one.
Yeah, you can tell by your face.
It caresses me, comforts me, makes me feel at home. The reality is we all like to look and smell our best, and luckily Mystery Meadows is here to help us feel clean and look our best, all with affordable options. Mystery Meadows has a full line of men's skin and healthcare products, from aftershave and beard oil to top-notch cologne. Go to mysterymeadows.com and elevate your body and skin today.
Love it. Thank you for that sponsorship. And, last week it was the whiskey barrel smell, which was great. If you want to smell like whiskey, that's the place to be.
It is. They have all kinds of scents.
Yeah, scenty. I love it. So as Dave mentioned, we're going to talk a little bit, since Enzo's here, something fun. We're all going to talk about our favorite hype you up baseball stadium song. Maybe there's a reason, maybe there's not, but what's going to get you hyped up when you hear in the stadium? So Enzo, you want to go first?
Yeah, it's going to be a classic rock song. I feel like classic rock is just
Dad rock.
Yes.
the go-to for stadium, especially baseball games. Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah.
The intro is just gets you fired up, gets the team fired up, especially if there's like a hype video to it too.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh yeah, okay, we can go now.
Yeah. That's a great one. I love that.
Yeah.
Nate?
I'm gonna agree with Enzo. I think that you get there's a couple of those classic rock songs, but I think that "Welcome to the Jungle" does stand out above the rest of them. That that's just the one. I don't know. It's got to have something to do with like you just like everybody feels like an animal, and you're just kind of like enjoying that that jungle environment. I don't know. It's fun.
I feel like a turtle.
Tortoise. No, yeah, I agree with Enzo. I think that's the song that in my mind is above the rest of them when you're in that divorced dad rock genre.
That's a good one. That was good. Dave?
So my favorite song to hear in a stadium, and it goes back to my days coaching high school football and baseball. I spent the most years coaching at Mountain View High School in Vancouver, Washington, and we were the Thunder. And particularly football, I had a role. I was the offensive coordinator. I was head JV coach, offensive coordinator, which meant I was up in the booth on Friday nights for football games with our defensive coordinator and our special teams guy. And so I didn't interact a lot on the sideline typically. But my role was pregame. I always did the pregame prayer in the locker room. And I always tried to make it a little bit of a hype moment where, we're praying, but then I would get the guys kind of roiled up, particularly against our big rival. And so they would come out all hyped up. And because we were the Thunder, we would play Thunderstruck.
Oh, yeah.
And there was something about coming out of the locker room, running out onto the field behind those guys while AC/DC is just blaring and the whole stadium is going, Thunder.
Yeah.
And just everybody, Thunder.
Yeah.
It's
Flashes of James Vanderbeek in your head.
That's right. Varsity Blues. And we were Royal Blue. And so, yeah, Thunderstruck is just always my go-to hype. When we, a few years ago, Jeff and I saw AC/DC down at the Polo Grounds in Indio, California. And so when they played Thunderstruck live, I had to record it. And I still watch that video from time to time because it was like I'd heard this song for everything we did at that school for years and years and years. And so to hear it live, it was really cool.
That's really awesome. I struggle with this one. When you brought it up, we talked about it a little bit before the show started here. So, my time frame that I was really into baseball was kind of the mid 2000s to late 2000s. The Red Sox were just really good, and Jonathan Papelbon was our closer. So shipping up to Boston was, just kind of a Red Sox thing. So I love that song. It's probably not the most hype that I get, but I love that song. Hell's Bells is my favorite song ever made. So Hoffman used it as his walk-in song, but I didn't care about the Padres, so it didn't really do much for me. But this is going to surprise you guys, and I think the number one hype song for me, and I can't help it, but Enter Sandman is just it. It just is. And it's not even a Yankees thing, and Mo, it's cool, whatever. It's just it's just one of those songs. That first 45 seconds to a minute of that song is just stupid, And
at our wedding, that's what my father-in-law walked my wife in to our wedding.
That's probably
crowd was. The grandparents were just so into it.
They were lit,
head banging.
Oh yeah.
But I can respect the Mariano Rivera part of it. That just he's the best closer that has ever been in this game. Period. There's really not even a close second, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And if as an opposing team, when you heard that song, the game's over. That's just the way it is. If Mo's coming in, it's over. So I understand, man, for me, which surprises me. We had a diverse group of things here. So
Enzo, you guys are currently in a series against Billings here at home. So you have game tonight, game tomorrow, and Sunday. Yeah, and then off Monday. Where are you guys at next week?
We're still at home. Who we're playing, I don't know. It's a day-to-day thing, seriously. Yeah.
One game at a time.
Doesn't matter. Bring them all on.
That's right.
So local fans, if you're out there, make sure you head on out, catch a Paddleheads game. You sign autographs?
I do, yeah.
So get your shirt, your chest, or a ball all signed by Enzo, because when you slash those kinds of numbers, you're not going to be playing indie minor league baseball for long, and hopefully an affiliated club picks you up here.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want to go?
Man.
We know it's not the Red Sox.
I would go anywhere, but I'll filter it down to this. I would prefer to go to a team with spring training in Arizona, so I can actually have spring training in Arizona from a player's perspective.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, because spring training in Arizona is absolutely unbelievable.
So which teams do that?
Most of them.
I was going to say.
Half of them?
Quite a
Yeah,
few.
I think it's a little over a half, but yeah.
Just as,
Keeping your options open.
yeah, keep my options open. Yeah.
Perfect.
This league. Well, Jeff, before we get out of here, I wanted to take a minute and recognize, we're still a newer podcast and we're figuring everything out, but we have some dedicated listeners out there, and we just want to give a shout out to them. Mm-hmm. Kyle Gannon is one of our subscribers. Mm-hmm. So is Corey Loggery, who's all the way over in the metropolis of Palouse, Washington.
Ooh.
And then we have a dedicated middle school listener, Mr. Ben Harris.
Ooh, Ben.
Nice.
Go.
That goes outside of our target demographic. But it speaks to the entertainment value.
Ben's an old
What
soul,
we
so
do.
it makes sense.
What we do. So
Love
to
it.
all of you that are subscribers out there, we say thank you, and we'll do our best to give you a shout out here in episodes to come.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you, Enzo. Good luck on the rest of the season.
Of course, thank you.
Lucky for you that professional scouts listen to us. So,
We're a big deal.
this is good.
Yeah, hopefully,
just hang on from here, bud. I'm just
all right,
telling
fingers
you.
crossed. If nothing happens, I'm blaming this whole podcast, okay? All right.
A lot of connection to the Greek league. So
Overweight and slow. But
exactly. They pay you in olive oil.
and feta. All right. Well, thank you for listening. We're on all the major podcast areas, and we're also on YouTube. Subscribe to us, and thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.